single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
unlicensed
therapy with Ari Manis.
Like, I could keep a diet when I'm in the house by myself. I could keep a diet when I'm around other people who have the diet. But when I'm around a bunch of people eating junk, I go, I could break it this time. I'm being social.
Yeah. But I don't know. I decided not to. I decided to do it on my own, and I told the guys. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat I'm gonna cut out carbs, blah blah blah, because I'd gained a couple pounds, even though I ate better.
Yeah.
I tried to eat good. We're still going to places where there was nothing to eat, and like a couple nights I ate like a calzone to myself, and I ate pretty bad some of the nights.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna eat no more carbs, blah blah blah. And then they were like, and then Frank's like, yeah, I'm down to do that too. And then Dron's like, I'm down. So then it was like,
yeah,
no
Dron's
carbs,
already
no
ripped.
sugar,
yeah,
and no alcohol for me.
Oh, you're not drinking?
Yeah, no alcohol for me.
That's good. You were kind of an
hard.
alcoholic.
Yeah, I have a problem.
You had a real problem. It's hard on the road too. When you're on the road, to eat healthy.
Bad, yeah.
When you're on the road and you finish a show and you're just kind of lonely and there's nothing to do and you're not ready to go to sleep yet.
Yeah.
You're just like, I can go get a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
My friend Pizza Pie's over there.
Yeah. Or fast food's always open late. Everything else closes. You have to find a diner to get a garbage salad from a diner.
And then and then you get the salad and you're like, this you don't even want to eat it. I might as well just go home and sleep.
Yeah.
If I'm going to eat this piece of shit.
Yeah. The road makes it hard. I feel like you got to just buy during the daytime on the road. You got to go buy a bunch of berries and nuts.
That definitely helps. Yeah.
And salad mix. And I love meat.
It's also a social thing. Like when I'm with a comic on the road.
Yeah.
And if neither of us want to go to a bar and drink,
go to a
after
diner.
a show, the only activity there is to do together is go get food.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
I guess you got to just go and get, hey, you want to go get coffee?
Yeah.
That's it.
But then coffee, leads to sweets.
Does it? Coffee gives you an appetite for sweets?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love donuts and shit. But the thing is, it's like after a couple days of being off sugar, it's easy.
Not only is it easy, you probably feel better.
Yeah, you feel better. But also you just don't have those cravings. There's something about, it's like a drug. Like the first couple days are hard, and then you don't have the craving anymore. But pizza is just, I crave that shit every day.
Yeah.
Even after I've stopped
eating. Yeah. The things that I crave when I'm dieting is pizza and cheeseburgers for me. In-N-Out burger.
Do you think women have like tricked men into like, because for thousands of years, women have been the ones worried about what they eat and shit, and men just ate whatever they wanted and became fat slobs, right?
Oh, like what's causing people to care about fitness and diet?
Well, no, for men want to be fit and not be fat and shit. But like men, we've been trained to like thicker, fatter women now. And
I still am not on that wagon yet. Yeah,
but you would agree that there's a trend towards
thick
thicker,
women,
fatter women. So
but
it's like women are
even,
convincing men like,
let
us eat your portion.
But it's not thicker, fatter women. It's women with big asses.
Yeah,
the trend.
True. That's true. It's
not fat women. It's big assed women.
You want big, like the muscle underneath the fat to be what's substantial.
Girls just work out their butts. Now.
Yeah, they do squats.
A lot of squats.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Squatting sounds like a sexual position too. Oh, dude, she squatted all over me.
Yeah, a chick in shape is attractive.
Yeah,
chick who works out.
You mean a woman?
Is a chick offensive now?
Yeah, dude, when I was in college, freshman year, I was in this like public health class, and we were talking about something.
Terms?
No, not even talking about terms. We were just talking about a subject I don't remember, and I said chick, and I was like, yeah, the thing is chicks are like this, and guys are like this, and then they're like, and then finally, like after I did it a few times, like the instructor, like she was also like a PhD student or something that was teaching the class, was like, the term is women.
I mean, if someone gets offended at the word chick, if I say the word chick and a girl gets offended, I actually appreciate that because it makes me know never to speak to that chick ever again. I go, oh, good. I'm glad you let this part of yourself out because now I know you are a horrible person.
Yeah, it's never happened other than college.
Why is it you think that 18 to 22-year-old people in college are super liberal because they think that's a sign of progression and smart? They think they're adults and that they're being smart. They go, I'm a smart person, an educated college student.
I actually think it's because it's the first time in your life when you're on your own and then you get to like people actually get to feel like oh, everything that I've been told is the structure doesn't necessarily have to be right. I can come up with we can come up with a better, wheel.
Right.
We can design it better. We can do better. And then they just become super hypersensitive to everything.
It almost seems like there's this cycle where freedom of speech became this popular thing, and now it's kind of leading towards taking away our freedom of speech.
Right.
And it's going to just this constant wave.
Like we were having a conversation. It was me. Who else was it? It was with Jill. At the comedy store.
And she gets offended pretty easily.
She gets offended pretty easily, and then she was like, people shouldn't be allowed to say that or something. I was like, you don't really believe that, do you? And I was like, that's what America has. It's the freedom of speech. Like, you can say anything, and you're supposed, as long as you're not like threatening somebody's life or like yelling fire in a crowded room that could hurt people, you're allowed to say it. And if you aren't allowed to say certain things, you're gonna
where does that go away?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
She scares me.
Yeah,
Jill specifically.
Yeah.
She's got offended at certain things I've said that weren't even that bad.
Really?
To where I'm like, I don't think she likes me, and I'm worried that she's gonna get me in trouble.
Really?
But it could be in my head.
I think it's in your head. She does get offended easily, I think, at like something, but she knows when it's a joke, because I'll make jokes, like sexist jokes all the time about. Like I'll be like, oh my God, this display looks so good, Jill, and she'll be like, thank you, because she does all the merchandise.
Yeah.
I'll be like, this display looks so good, Jill. She's like, thank you. I'm like, which man helped you put this all together? This is really, And she like, gives me like a dirty look, but she knows it's a joke, so she laughs. But
yeah, we'll see. But she likes you more than she likes me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people that people like to not like.
And you also have like PTSD from shit in your past that makes you like be less trusting of like what's this girl's intentions,
Like, well, I've never like been accused of anything.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like you've been hurt by women in the past whereas like you're like a puppy that's at a shelter because it's been abused too many times.
Yeah, I've had my heart broken a few times.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that and other shit.
What other shit?
Like should I just say?
Should we go outside and look at it?
Let's go look.
Car accident right outside the studio.
Right outside.
Right outside this professional studio.
Oh my God, this is a very professional studio.
On camera, though, if you didn't know where we were, they'd be like, oh, they must be in Hollywood at some sort of TV place.
And we are.
Yeah.
We're in Hollywood at a TV place. This is dope. I don't care if there's car accidents happening on the freeway right outside. If we are literally right underneath an overpass where the 405 and the 10 meet. If you're ever looking for heroin or to record a podcast, you just come right here.
Both right here in the studio. But yeah, it's a scary time. I just got Me Too the other night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I talked about this on earlier podcasts, but it's the same. I'm recording 2 in one day.
Yeah.
And this was 2 nights ago, not last night, but the night before, performing.
If you're tired of telling it, I'll tell it. He was performing at a show, and then he just decided to rape a girl. And then another girl who he also raped was like, me too. Am I telling it right? Did I tell it right?
I don't know.
No, that was wrong. Oh. Okay, you
not
tell
right
it
at all.
Then you tell it then. I don't remember.
I was performing at a show.
Fellatio.
I do a joke, and a girl stands up and says, not funny, me too.
She doesn't even know what Me Too movement's about. That's not what it's about. It's not about jokes.
She kept yelling that. Then I called her a bitch.
Sounds like she was being a bitch, yeah.
She was being a bitch. And then
just don't go to comedy shows.
I got off stage, and her husband came up to me and poured wine onto my head.
Are you sure he
And I
wasn't trying to
choked
like
him.
feed you wine, like a god, treat you like a fucking like a Greek god?
It
like,
didn't feel like that was what was going on.
You don't know.
And then,
but it may have been.
but I will say this: I was doing some analyzing between the last podcast and this podcast, and I think maybe in the future, if I'm being heckled, I need to remain calm and not call an audience member names.
Yeah.
Because it was funny and people laughed, but I was just thinking about it and I was like, whenever I watch people arguing, I'm always on the side of the arguer who's calm and collected and kind of just saying, okay, is that what happened? I'm never on the arguer, the passionate person's side who's going, fuck you. That person's never right. And even if they are right, they don't look right when they act that way.
Jay-Z has a great line for that where he said, I'm butchering it a little bit, but he said, never get into arguments with fools because from the distance, people can't tell who's who.
Yeah.
You know? It's like from a distance, you also look like a crazy... If somebody just walks in and sees you guys yelling, goes like, oh... You know,
two idiots.
You're two idiots. But if you're calm, like if you would have been like, you know what, you're right. That joke wasn't funny.
Yeah, I go, what would you want me to talk about?
That's why none of these audience members laughed or applauded.
Right. I started with that. I said everyone else laughed, but she just wouldn't stop. So it got me mad, and I let my anger get to me.
Or you know what would be a funny like way to heckle back is to be like, you're right, and I'm not going to insult you based on your appearance because that would be disgusting and chauvinist of me. What's the last book you read? And then she goes like, oh, The Alchemist. You go, what a fucking stupid book. You fucking idiot. Fucking read that stupid shit? Fuck, man, you're a beautiful person on the outside, but on the inside, you're a disgusting fat pig. Like, you know, like
yeah, it's like I should have just remained calm, level-headed, and that would have made me look better in the end. I mean, I think I looked fine.
I think you look fine.
But for the future, I think it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened. Because for the future, I'm going to remain so calm that it's going to piss her off even more.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like...
Have you seen that heckler video of the guitar playing guy who smashed his guitar on the guy's head as the guy came on stage?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
But he was in the right there, too, because the guy's coming on the stage.
Well, kind of, but the audience didn't react that way. It's on the movie Heckler, the Jamie Kennedy movie that I'm sure you've seen.
I saw it back in the day, yeah.
But it's like this guy's playing the guitar and he's being heckled and he's like, why don't you come up here? And he's holding the guitar ready to smash the guy in the head. And the guy comes up and he destroys this guitar in the guy's head and the guy fucking falls down. And he goes, he was approaching me. You guys all saw it. And then you can hear the audience go, no, he does fucked up. Like,
I mean, I don't remember this video, but if someone's coming up on the stage, that's a fight.
Yeah, but do you fight with your fists or do you fight with any weapons you've got available?
I think in that situation, I don't know. It sounds hard to think, but if he had his guitar, like he was going to hit the guy and the guy's coming up, it's like he's almost asking for it.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but at the same time, like...
It's kind of like me with this guy who poured wine on my head. And then I started choking him.
Did
he not ask for me to do that?
But that's all you using your hands. I feel like when you bring in a weapon...
If I had a...
brass knuckle.
A brass knuckle? Mm-hmm. I think I would have used it.
You would have slipped it on last second and tried to use it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the right move.
And I have a feeling he, if I had the opportunity, would have smashed a glass bottle over my head.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But does that mean like we judge how we act based on how lesser people are going to behave around us? Or do we elevate?
You're saying a fight is only honorable with no weapons?
Yeah. Or it's only honorable where both sides have the same weapon.
They both need a sword fight with a guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be funnier.
If the guy was running up with a guitar.
If the guy had two guitars and the guy ran up on stage and he tosses him a guitar and they go, duel.
Yeah. And then one guy starts playing the guitar.
You know how I was able to take down a heckler's husband without even thinking? By having a healthy diet. Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes conquering the kitchen a reality with deliciously simple recipes.
Spend less time meal planning and grocery shopping so you can get that time back to do more of what you love. All meals come together in 30 minutes max, call for less than 2 pots and pans, and require minimal cleanup. There's 3 plans to choose from, classic, veggie, and family, with the option to switch between for when your tastes change. I personally have been using HelloFresh for a couple months now, and I have had some amazing recipes and also learned how to be a better cook. It also makes for a great date night. I remember my favorite dish, the meatloaf, just so juicy and delicious, and I couldn't believe that I made something like that myself. You should try it. For $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to hellofresh.com/unlicenssedtherapy80 or enter unlicenssedtherapy80 in the coupon code box. Again, that's hellofresh.com/unlicenssedtherapy80 for $80 off your first month. Or you can enter unlicenssedtherapy80 as a promo code. Back to the episode. But here's the thing. The guy coming up on stage is wrong, right? Because heckling a comedian's wrong. If you don't like a comedian, you leave the room.
Yeah.
So that guy's wrong. The guy on stage
Heckling
is
is when
defending
somebody
himself.
in the audience doesn't enjoy the set and is like yelling out and stuff.
Yeah, or some
I've
or
never
the
had
worst
that
heckle-
happen. But
or the worst is when they are enjoying it and they're yelling it. That sometimes is even worse when they just had too much to drink.
yeah, when they're like think they're being helpful.
They think they're being helpful or they're a big fan and they're just making it about, they're enjoying it so much that they're like, sweet, I'm part of the show. I love this guy.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, those are the worst hecklers. But anyway, enough comedy talk. What's going on with you? Why are you here?
I got some issues and I need some therapy. I'm probably the only person who actually takes your advice and uses it.
No, everyone does. I'm a really good advice giver.
Okay, but I mean, among your friends and stuff, like
I'm known as kind of the guy who gives really good advice.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Everyone.
it's kind of that's the joke. It's like, oh, Ari's gonna give advice, but really, you shouldn't take advice from Ari.
I've never heard anyone say that. Is that what people say?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But I actually take your advice. You told me when I first started dating my girlfriend, you were like, write her poetry, and I do, and I still do that every now and then. Sometimes I'm like, oh, she's been working like 10 hours today. I'm like, I'll send her a little poem that I just come up with, and
Yeah,
I'm
just
like,
a cute little,
and it just lets her know that I
little
spent
cutesy.
2 minutes
Thinking
of
about
something
it.
for her. Yeah, it's a good advice. It's good advice. So I came here with my issues. I've got some anger issues for sure. I snap on people a little bit, especially if people are being dickheads.
I've heard about not just your road rage, but I've heard from door guys of you snapping at them.
Yeah. I've got a little bit of some anger issues, road rage, and I don't know, when people just try and blame other people for shit. That shit pisses me off. And when people,
I don't think you have anger issues. I think you're a tired old man.
That might be true.
Yeah, you're just like an
37 years old.
Yeah, you're just like old and grumpy.
That might be it. But I don't think I'm grumpy. I think I'm like jolly most of
You're like, it's like Santa Claus has anger issues. You're like that type of anger issues.
Yeah, I've got like, oh, these guys are naughty. I'm making a list of the naughties too.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the nice list and how good Santa is. Yeah, but there's also the naughty list.
Did you have anger issues when you were younger?
I think so.
Okay, so
I think
maybe.
so. I like it.
you do
It's
have
like
anger
I feel like I've always been pretty chill of a person, but when I see like people just being rude, like and then like I don't suffer fools lightly. When people are chill, most people are cool, and I get along with most people. But then occasionally people, I don't know.
Sometimes you feel wronged, and you don't stand for it. Similar to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
No, but I do think I would be better off staying calmer, and I think I've gotten better at it in general in life. But like, I think it's like a continual process of like trying to deal with my temper issues.
And what have you done? What have you done so far to deal with your temporal issues?
Is that the right word? Temporal issues?
That sounds kind of like a food dish.
Temporal, like the temporal lobe of your brain. Sounds
it made me think of like some sort of Asian culture. Temporal.
I think.
Let's go get
I think
temporal
breathing.
food.
Sometimes I get angry. Like today when I was driving over, I was pissed because this driver who may or may not have been Asian, I don't know, was just driving hella slow and then got into the left lane to turn left on La Brea at the last second, making me miss my light, and just slowing down everybody behind him.
And you're saying just take a deep breath?
I took a deep breath, and then I put on some music that wasn't like... Sometimes I listen to hip-hop, and it pumps me up and shit, but also hip-hop will encourage you to be angry sometimes too, you know? I think there's a yin and yang where you have to sometimes listen to some
for me,
easy
it's a lot to do with your state of mind going in. Like, if you aren't in a rush, if you're leaving and you're not in a... Like, being in a rush makes you antsier and angrier too, because you're like, come on, move. Like, I got a place to be.
Yeah.
So if you leave on time...
But I always like driving quickly. I hate being in the car for too long.
Sure, but I'm just saying that just helps. It's like one step towards alleviation. Because if you're in a rush, you're for sure going to be more on edge. So it's all about being like going into it positive. So if you're not in a rush at all, that's step one. Mm-hmm. Step two, you have, like you said, a good podcast on. So you're kind of like comfortable taking your time because you're like, it's okay, I'm just going to sit here behind this car, wait for it to move because I'm engaged in this episode of whatever.
But then I feel bad for everybody when everybody's lined up behind me and I look in the mirror.
Yeah, but it's not your fault.
No, it's not my fault, but I'm angry at that driver.
Yeah.
I'm a honker too. I let the drivers
these are
know,
just things to help make it lessen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you have rap music on and you're in a rush, then you're going to be double angry. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're not in a rush. You got a good episode on. Then maybe you're going to like take a step back. Okay, what could I do for this situation? Maybe I'll turn around and just avoid this guy completely. Maybe I'll go around him. Maybe I'll roll down my window and say, "Move, you dumb." No, you won't say that.
Whoa, no, that's...
You don't say that?
No, dude. I think you've got anger issues right there, man. What's going on? Let's talk
No,
about
I
that.
meant in a nice way, like...
Oh, okay.
Like you would to a friend. Like, you dumb idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're an idiot, Hormoz. Like, we're friends?
Yeah, I get it now. No, that's different.
Should I edit that out?
Maybe. Probably, I don't know. You've got so much good press going. You could probably deal with a little bad.
Yeah, a lot of good press.
But but that's like a thing I think I've in general been getting better at throughout life. You know, and also like doing mushrooms I think helps. Like, you know, it like lets you like realize like I've been mad at certain people for things that they've done, like really mad at people I was close with, and then I've gone to Joshua Tree, did some mushrooms, and just out in the middle of the desert been like, I'm not mad at them anymore.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's what you realize. You look at the bigger picture. You go, are they a bad person?
You're like, no.
They're not a bad person.
They fucked up. They apologized. I should just, forgive them.
But are you one of those people that forgives but doesn't forget?
Of course, I think everybody forgives but doesn't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like you only forget over time. You can forgive quickly, but you forget because it happened 10 years ago and they've been cool for 10 years. You go, oh, I forgot about that. It's been so long.
They've proven themselves that that's not going to happen. They have to prove themselves
that takes time.
that that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, but that takes time.
Yeah.
And then what other issues do I have? I procrastinate. Like I'm just now getting divorced after being separated from my wife for like 7 years.
But let me ask you this. Is that procrastination or is that I don't really care that much. It's not worth dealing with. And now you're in a serious relationship and now you have a reason to do it.
It's partially that, but it's more like,
or are you just a good husband? You were trying to make it work.
No.
You didn't want to give up.
No, it's definitely not that one. Bad husband. But, very bad husband. But I think it's just like, oh, I've got to do this, but it's not like urgent. It's not like if I don't submit this divorce paperwork, I'm not going to be able to perform on this show or go to this place. Like I got my passport pretty quickly when I needed my passport to go.
Right. If you need to do something,
trip.
You'll still do it.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I didn't need to. But it was like something on. It was like.
Yeah. I think everyone, not everyone, but I definitely have dealt with some of that where it's like I don't consider myself a procrastinator, but hey, I have a list of things I need to do.
Yeah.
And certain of those things don't really need to get done, and there's nothing pushing me to do them. I think it's human nature to go, I'll put that on the back burner. And
yeah, but I want to not do that. I want to, because this divorce process is taking a year, and I started it, And it just takes such a long time. I wish I'd already done it.
Well, then you have to take Alpha Brain every day and drink a lot of water and work out, and that's going to make you take care of other stuff too. It's going to motivate you for the rest of the day.
No, I think that's true. I think eating better makes you more productive.
Gives you more energy.
Gives you more energy.
Yeah, it's giving you that energy, and you go, okay, well, I'm checking off this list. Now I'm a healthy guy. What else can I do to improve myself?
Yeah.
What else can I be more productive in?
Yeah. One thing I've been doing, and this is me solving my own problems. No thanks to you. Thanks to you. I said it like a foreigner. No thank to you. I've just been on my calendar of like shows I have and work and stuff like that. On the side of it, I just write down the things I have to do this month. And so I write down like record these episodes of a podcast, work on this bit or this script, and one of the things is, follow up on the divorce paperwork or get divorced. And it's like when I get to mark it off,
get divorced. That's
what it was at first. It was like start
calendar.
the process. It was like fill out all these fucking paperworks and take it to the courthouse. And then it was like, all right, follow up on that with, it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is a pain in the ass, but you're doing it. That's what really matters. And your girlfriend probably even likes it. She probably at first thought it was kind of cool to share you with another woman. But
she's never shared me.
But as your relationship progressed, she realized she wanted you to herself because you're such a keeper.
No, she didn't. She was chill about it. I don't think she even gave a fuck, which is a little upsetting.
You wish she got jealous?
No.
You wish she was like, get
I'm glad she did.
divorced.
But like that's the thing too. Is I was like, man, me and my current girl, Angie, we've been together for like 5 years now.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't be married and have a girlfriend that I've been with for 5 years. Like it's like during those 5 years.
And she's like, yeah, you can. Who cares?
No, she was like, yeah, you should get divorced.
Oh, she was.
But when I would mention it, she would never mention it. But then I'm like, man, I got to get divorced. She's like, yeah. But she wasn't like angry about it. She was just like, yeah, she understood that it's like it's time and money spent on doing a thing.
How much did it cost you all in all? Or is it going to cost you?
I got the first thing waived. So far, it's been nothing.
Oh, great.
But it was like it was gonna be $400 for the
you
first
should
fee.
see
but
if
I
you
got
could
it
get
waived.
half of her money so that you could actually make money from it.
No, because I don't deserve any of her money.
No, I know, but that's
I
just
hate
America.
that shit.
That's
I
America.
hate that
though.
shit about America, though. That shit bothers me. I don't deserve it. She
you're
went to
right.
law school and is a lawyer. I'm not going to touch any of her
You're
money.
absolutely right.
She deserves all that money.
You're absolutely right. I
Yeah.
agree with you 100%.
Just because Kobe got some money
but
stolen
try and
from
get
another
half.
woman. No, it's not like women versus men, and most of the time women are getting money, so the men have to get theirs.
No. I agree.
It's wrong when women don't deserve it and go after half.
It's wrong, yeah.
And it's wrong.
In this
I'm
case,
not gonna
it
go
would
after
it would
half.
be wrong. But I'm saying,
Dude, what's wrong? Yeah.
Do
bad advice. This is bad
come
advice
on.
with Ari, man.
all I'm saying is here's what I'm saying.
No.
Will she get upset and think you're a bad person for it? Does it make you a bad person? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
But in the scheme of things, you have to think in the long run, she's going to be fine, whether she gives you half or not. She's going to continue to make her own money. She's going to save it back
be fine.
up.
If she has to give me half of her money, she's not going to be fine.
She'll-
It's not like you have to give
It's
her
not
half.
gonna- all I'm
then
saying-
she'd have to keep giving me half, too.
No.
I'm used
She
to a
won't have to
certain
keep
lifestyle.
giving you half because you don't have any kids together or anything like
I
that.
don't think that's true. I don't think you have to have kids to be
Okay.
paid alimony. You're thinking child support.
But so in the scheme of things, it's going to motivate her to make more money.
So scheme
and-
is the
and-
key word.
and
This is a
to
fucking
take care of
scheme,
herself.
an evil
but
scheme.
you work a minimum wage job. You're an artist. You need that money more than she does.
Yeah. No, I need it more than she does, but I didn't earn that money at all.
No, not at all. You didn't earn
Like
it
if
even
I
slightly.
schemed to take money from Joe Rogan or from you, who has $9,000,
$9,800.
9,800. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, good
Thank
job.
you. Yeah.
If I schemed to leave you with only 800, I didn't like. Oh, he has all this money. Blah blah blah. No, it's not right, man.
No, you're right. It's wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to do a little
You
wrong.
gotta do a little wrong.
to make a little right.
I would steal from like when I was like a kid and stuff from like big grocery stores, CVS,
You don't do that
Rite
anymore?
Aid.
You
Maybe
graze?
sometimes. Like, I'll try a berry before buying a package
graze.
of berries.
Oh, you open a berry package? That I don't
Yeah,
do.
no, you got to try berries.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
that's
tell if
rude
they're
to
good or
whoever
not.
who buys that pack because now they're eating your
Yeah,
germ.
but you've heard the term suck my dick, right? You
Yeah.
heard that term?
Right.
Yeah. I live by that motto when it comes to berries. I go, suck my dick. These berries are like $5 for a little package. I'm going to taste it to see if it's worth the
When
price.
I'm at Whole Foods,
If they're 88 cents a package, I just grab like 10 of them and throw it in the thing. I'm like, at that price,
I'll get it.
I'll get it no matter what.
But you're talking about organic, expensive.
Yeah, if you're
berries.
spending money on expensive produce, like, you got to make sure that shit's good.
When I'm at Whole Foods and I'm getting hot foods, I'll fill up my plate
And then you'll eat a little bit of it.
and then I'll
Take the weight
graze
down
it.
a little.
It's not even take the weight. Well, maybe subconsciously it is, but it's more just while I'm doing my grocery shopping, I'll graze and I'll be eating, and then I'll fill it back up and I'll buy it.
All right, so you steal that way. That's cool.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'll pop open a drink while I walk around the grocery store, drink it, and then
Put
put
it
it
down.
on the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've done those things before. I don't really do it very often nowadays. Probably last time I stole something was probably from Pink Dot by the Comedy Store, maybe like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And that would just be a candy bar. Like, I'm like, what, $3 for a candy bar, or something?
Yeah,
I'd be
you're
oh,
like
just
they're
pocket
stealing
it.
from all these tourists. I might
Yeah,
as well
exactly.
get
But
them
I
back.
would never steal from like a spot that's like a mom and pop shop. If it looks
Pink
like
Dot's kind of a mom and pop shop.
it's a mom and pop shop that's fucking stealing from me all the time.
Yeah.
If it's like a place that
Yeah,
has
like-
like the
like
family
if-
running it. If you don't have employees that hate their
yeah,
job,
I went into a little shop in New York City, the most expensive city in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like ready to pay $2 for this bottle of water because I'm like, it's New York, it's this little shop.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's 50 cents, and I'm like, oh, I love you, man. What a sweet guy to charge 50 cents. I would never steal from that guy.
yeah, you can't. That's just wrong. I think stealing from people is wrong. Stealing from corporations, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck the man,
fuck the man.
the corporate man.
But getting caught, I've never been caught stealing, but that would be so embarrassing.
I've never been caught either. That would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But
Well-
also, we're not the type of people they're going to accuse. We have
No.
white privilege.
Yeah, I have olive privilege.
No, people think you're white, I think,
Think so?
when you walk around. Yeah. In Southern California,
Especially
you walk around.
if I shave my beard, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. People think I'm Jewish.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, with the beard or even without?
Even without. Just,
What do you think about you makes you look Jewish?
I think olive-y colored skin. I think, my nose isn't tiny.
No one ever has said or thought that I was Jewish. I've always had to say it.
Oh, I thought you were Jewish. Ari.
Yeah, no, everyone has.
No, but then there's that story of Brody thinking that Randolph is Jewish and you weren't.
Brody Stevens thought I was Greek. No, I'm so Jewish that I think I've told this story before, but one time I was opening for Pauly,
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen my set. I don't talk about being Jewish in my set
Right.
at all. And I get off stage, and someone comes up to me and goes, I liked all your Jewish jokes. And they weren't trying to be funny or mean. They were drunk, and they're just,
They just heard a Jew talking and they were like, oh, some Jew jokes.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's the weirdest thing is hatred towards Jews. Because it's like hatred towards every other ethnic group that occurs. For the most part, you've met some of those people, right? So like in the South, the white supremacists have met black people and Latinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've probably even met, some Asians. But it's like there's no Jews in Mississippi, but they hate Jews.
Not a lot, yeah.
And in Texas, like you saw, like Sasha Cohen went to Texas, throw the Jew down the well, and they're all cheering, and they hate Jews. They're like, they hate Jews. They've never met them.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
People don't hate Jews out here in L.A. Jews
No.
are fine, right?
Well,
have you ever experienced?
No one hates anyone
hatred
out here in LA.
Okay, New York too. Like New York, there's
New York,
Jews.
so-
There's the most amount of Jews,
But those are
surrounded by other people.
those are very diverse liberal places.
But that's the thing. It's like when you actually meet Jews, you realize that like the person that you really hate is Armenians, right? It's like we live in LA. Nobody
Yeah,
hates Jews.
I mean, I'll
right?
say this,
But
yeah.
Armenians in LA, are they loved?
No one likes those guys
Why?
because they're like squirmy.
No. Sam Tripoli's cool. I like Sam Tripoli.
Nice guy.
But I always say about Armenians, when your Barack Obama is Sam Tripoli, just not the dopest people. When the best of your people You're Martin Luther King. You know?
Sam Tripoli.
It's Sam
And that's how they all
Tripoli.
feel too. You talk to any Armenian
Yeah.
and you go, who's the best
Sam
Armenian?
Tripoli.
They go, Sam Tripoli.
And they say, who's second? Gabe Killian.
Cape Killian's
He's Armenian, yeah. He's a homie. I have some Armenian friends, and I bet the people in Armenia are great people.
Armenia is a real
It's
country?
a real country, and I bet they're
Where is
great
that
people.
located?
The Middle East.
Do they let Jews in there?
I think so, probably. I don't know anything about the government there, so maybe not. I don't know.
I've never even heard of it.
But I bet in the people who are in the Middle East who are Armenian, I bet are good people. Same thing with Iranians. Like, I'm Iranian, right?
Oh, is that where the Armenian genocide had?
That was like
happened?
Turkey, I think. Like
That
right
was-
next
it
to
wasn't
Turkey.
in
I think Armenia is
Armenia.
right next to Turkey.
So when the Armenian genocide happened, was Armenia a country?
I don't know. Probably not. It was probably like part of the
See, these are
Ottoman
something
Empire.
that I know I'm stupid because like
Have
it's
you heard
such a significant. The fact that I know what the genocide is, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
I'm pretty sure it was during the Ottoman Empire when like at the end of World War One. World War One was Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Germany versus France, Great Britain, the U.S., and Russia. Okay.
Right.
And at the end of that, when the U.S., Great Britain, and France won, the Ottoman Empire was destroyed. And I think during that dissolution and it became from this huge empire to just being Turkey. Turkey is where the Ottoman Empire eventually, shrunk down to one state of Turkey, and the rest of the areas I think were given out, and so I think it was during that time that happened.
Wow.
But I firmly believe, because like Iranians have a bad image in America too, of being like schemers and materialistic and rude.
I've never heard that about Iranians. I've heard that they're terrorists.
See, they're not even terrorists.
That's
there's
what I've
never been
heard.
an Iranian terrorist.
That's just, no, but that's what
Iranians.
Listen,
in Iran
I'm not
fund
saying this is a
terrorism.
true stereotype. I'm saying that's the stereotype.
Yeah, that is a stereotype. I've done roast battle, and all the terrorist jokes always do well against me. But like the truth is that they are very materialistic people. The ones who live here, materialistic kind of.
That's why they want to come to America, to be materialistic.
That's how they got to America. Is my point.
Oh,
The
right.
ones who weren't materialistic, who were like, let's share our wealth with all the people in Iran and stuff. If somebody made $1 million in Iran and decided to buy 1 million loaves of bread for the poor, that person didn't have money to fly in a jet to America when the revolution happened. You know what I'm saying? So the sweetest
that person also doesn't exist. But yeah.
right, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's the people who had enough money to fly across the world to America instead of living in their war-torn country weren't the ones who were the poor people. They were the ones who schemed their way in the system to become rich in a system where most people were very, very poor.
Right.
And so it's like not a good cross section of the people when you meet them here. It's like, oh no, it's because your parents came over rich and spoiled you, and so you're a garbage human now, and people think that all of them are garbage humans.
Right.
Versus you go visit Iran or I bet Armenia, and nobody's trying to sell you a fake stereo. That happened to me. An Armenian guy, I went to buy a stereo. I wanted to buy the Sony that they advertised on some advertisement I saw, and he was like, oh, I've got a better deal for you. It's like $20 cheaper, blah, blah, blah. It was like called the Prestige or something like that. Like it was a different brand.
Just some Chinese stereo.
Some Chinese stereo. He's like, it's better. I'm like, okay. I was like, $20 cheaper. And like, he talked to me like, oh, you're Iranian, I'm Armenian, we're brothers. And I was like, all right, this guy's not ripping me off. Fucking ripped me off. And this shit fucking worked for a couple weeks and then was crapped out. And I hit him up. He was like, oh, you had to get the extended warranty and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, you fucking
You
never
got me,
trusting
dude.
you again, man.
You got me.
But Sam Tripoli's cool. So, so it's a yin and yang. So I love Sam Tripoli.
Good guy. Yeah, the only time I ever went through any sort of anti-Semitism in my life was when I was living in New Mexico, and I was the
Happened?
only. And I nothing. I just get like made fun of and
In the
taunted
military school.
with real negative in their voice. Rather, it wasn't like a tease. It was
Right.
like genuine. Like
Right. It
I
wasn't
don't
like smiling like, oh, you fucking dirty Jew.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was real, and I knew it was just ignorance, but it was
Yeah.
also I was the only one they ever met. I was the only one at that school.
Yeah.
That was like that. So I'm like, where is it coming from? It's just different, something
Yeah.
different than they don't know, and that's what they.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember once when I was a little kid, one of my cousins said something about fucking Jews or something, and I was like, I was like, why do you hate Jews? I was like, what did Jews do to you? I was like, do you even know any? And then he's like, no, I don't know. I just heard my dad say it. He was like, we were little. And I was like, oh, that's stupid. I was like, I think a lot of it's just learned behavior from your parents.
That's probably
just like, oh, they said something bad about Jews, they must be bad. But also, it's like such a successful people hate, you know?
Yeah, people.
It's like people are like, Jews run the media. It's like, yeah, if you look at it, fucking a lot of these producers, they're all fucking Jewish last names, and it's only 1% or less than 1% of the population. So yeah, they're doing pretty great, you know? But instead of like being like, Jews run the media and it's evil, it's like, hey, strive to be more like Jews, you know?
Yeah, or make friends with them so that they could put you in the club, or just pretend to be
Yeah.
Jewish.
I don't even think it's a club. I think it's just...
It isn't. No,
Yeah.
A lot of people have said to me, and they mean it. People have said to me in LA, I've had people said to me like, "Oh, you're Jewish, so you'll be fine." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Yeah. Like I've never got no Jew has ever come up to me like, "Hey, what up?"
Maybe they
Jewish
mean,
guy,
oh,
and
you're
then
Jewish,
they'll
so
hook me
you
up with
come
a
from
job.
a family with money. You'll be fine.
No, I've had
They
people
really believe that,
really
like-
truly believe
Yeah,
that
it's
like
crazy.
I'm gonna get hooked up with a job.
I mean, I do think there is a tribal aspect to it, where like when I worked at a gym and an Iranian guy would come in and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm here with my buddy. Is there any way you can get me in?" Blah blah.
Yeah, and you hook him up.
I'll hook him up.
Yeah, but
I think there's some of that.
I think there'd be some of that if I like went to a synagogue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
and there were other members
Yeah,
there,
you
and then I
could
knew
do
that guy, and
but
that
you're
guy.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
You could use your Judaism to advance your career.
Yeah, if I
But
like
you
went
don't.
to, if I literally went to where they all congregate,
Yeah.
and made friends with them,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't
If
do
you
that.
were a better Jew.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I was really Jewish,
If you were really religiously Jewish,
If
not
I was
just
religious.
ethnically.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Any other issues in your life?
We dealt with my issue about Jews.
Your anger,
Anger towards Jews.
anger towards Jews.
Well, that's all. You
your-
solved the anger
Your
towards Jews.
divorce, so you're gonna get half their money. Don't. You're already going through the divorce. Don't waste it.
Okay, so I got half.
You
the
get married. That's
money.
half the reason why you get married. Listen, when you guys got married, what did you say? What'd you say when you were on the altar? Till death do us part.
No, I don't think we had to read anything. It was a courthouse, so it was
At
like
the
I do.
courthouse, I do. Till death do us part. I do. And you're breaking that, and so is she.
Uh-huh.
And part of the consequence of breaking that is you get half of her shit, and she gets half of your shit.
But what if she
Fair
wants?
is fair. She
what
gets.
if she wants half of my weed? I just restocked,
She gets it. Fair is fair.
but I only have.
Wouldn't
a
you
certain
give her
amount of-
half of your weed for $50,000, which is half of her net worth?
I don't know,
She's
man.
worth $100K.
This blue cookies, I don't know when I'm going to be able to find it again, and it's really
That's what the strain's
fire.
called?
It's called blue cookies.
Is it sativa or indica?
It's an indica, but it's like a hybrid. I think it doesn't make you too sleepy.
Indica dominant hybrid.
Yeah, but it's not too sleepy. It's like
Indoor?
Girl Scout cookies mixed with blue cheese. Indoor for sure. It's fire. It's
good.
really good.
How much is that?
I think it was like 51,000 for an ounce. So you said she would give me 50,000. It just doesn't add up for me.
51,000 for now.
51,000 for an ounce. It's really good.
That's a
though.
good deal.
It's
Yeah.
no, it's expensive. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't skimp out on that stuff. It's your
I
health.
was like, should I buy property? Because it's like land is a good investment. But then I was like, so is blue cookies.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, I mean,
so-
it's going to... and you know how, like, weed ages so well, too. Like, the longer it sits there in the jar,
Yeah.
it's like a fine wine.
Yeah. People actually don't know that. It is true. Like, weed does need to cure a little bit. Like
Yeah, a
couple
few
months.
weeks, yeah,
Even
nah.
a couple of months makes
Yeah, you don't want weed that's years
old now.
sitting-
Especially if it's not, like, airtight in like, a cool, dark spot. Yeah, I've never had that problem with weed, though. I've always gone
Have
through
you
it.
ever grown it, or you just like
Yeah,
to
I've
smoke
grown
it a lot?
I grew it in college. I didn't do a great job. It was just in my closet,
But
but I
it's fun.
grew 8 plants.
Have
and
you
I got
ever
a few
grown
ounces.
mushrooms?
No.
Would you ever try that, or you don't want to? Seems like it'd be kind of
Maybe.
fun.
It might be fun, but
And that's something like weed. You need a whole setup in a room.
Yeah.
Like mushrooms, can't you do that like under your bed?
I've heard you can do it under your bed. Yeah, but I don't know. I've got just a great mushroom hookup, and I just whenever the season comes, I just buy a bunch and have it for the year.
You get them out once for the whole year.
Yeah.
That's how you operate.
And if it comes back around, if somebody else comes and says, I got this killer batch, I'll get another ounce.
Wow.
I just buy them in the ounce. Eventually, at some point, I'll go to Joshua Tree. I'll go on a trip where I'll want some. Friends always hit me up at some point when
I got to teach you how to use the dark web. Dark web, then you have a hookup
afraid of that
24
shit, man.
hours a day.
That's the thing. Is like I'm not Jewish. I'm Iranian. You know. After
there's
9/11,
I think
they're
most
already
people on the
looking at
dark
my
web
shit.
are Iranian.
Yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
they're in Iran and not worried about. I'm actually good. I follow the laws of the government. I never do drugs. I try and unless the drug is legally allowed in the area.
So
if I'm
you
in a
don't smoke
Mormon
weed?
area, I don't drink.
Weed is federally illegal, correct?
Yeah, so I don't smoke weed.
You don't smoke weed.
I don't. I stopped as soon as I found out it was illegal because I love this country so much.
So
followed.
you did it for a while because you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You were just dumb and ignorant.
Just, yeah, it was
You
dumb.
didn't do the research. You just
And then I
figured.
became a U.S. citizen, and I was like, gotta follow the laws.
Smart. You're
know?
a patriot.
Yeah.
Would you ever join the U.S. military?
No. I thought about it.
Did you actually? There was a point
I
in your life
thought
where you're
about
like,
it
I
a
might
little
join the
bit.
military?
Yeah, because they needed translators in Afghanistan, and in Afghanistan there's parts where they speak Farsi.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a different dialect, but I was like, I could learn it. But then I was like, there's gonna be dickhead troops who are on my side of the U.S. Army who still treat me like a piece of shit because I'm Middle Eastern and I'm the translator. So I was like, there's gonna be negative on that side, and I could die, and I don't believe in what we're fighting for. So I was like,
Oh, you don't believe in fighting for our commander in chief?
yeah, no, I don't think the war in Afghanistan was a good move. I think we could have.
Yeah, but you
gotten
don't believe that sometimes it's a bad move, but you just do it out of pride for your president, for your
No,
country?
no. I think Afghanistan was executed perfectly at the beginning. Bush worked with Iran and the Northern Alliance and got rid of the Taliban really quick. And then they tried to take over and have like a part in the new government and like install Ahmed Karzai as the democratic government and shit. And that shit fell apart. And now it's like a joint government with the Taliban again. And
It
if
is?
they would have, yeah. And if they would have just had the
So it was all
foresight-
for nothing,
It was all
basically.
for nothing. And if they would have had the foresight to just be like, hey, we'll work with the Taliban right away, right after they lost. If we were like, the Taliban could be included in this instead of having them fight against the Northern Alliance and stuff. Taliban, you're welcome back as part of the government, but you have to allow UN inspectors in to make sure there's no terrorist shit going down, and everybody has a part in the government. Maybe you section it off into federal little sections. Taliban runs their crazy shit here. Northern Alliance runs their crazy shit here, which isn't like that
Wait, so
much different.
right now in Afghanistan, the Taliban is half the government?
I don't know about half, but they're the part of it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how you get peace. You don't make peace with people who you're cool with. You make peace with the people you're at war with. And that's how they made peace finally.
America doesn't know that, huh?
No. America hasn't had to make peace in a long time. We go to war where we just destroy shit and then rebuild it, which is very difficult to do. That's the hard part. Destroying shit we've perfected. We could literally go destroy the infrastructure and kill millions of people in any country we want. Any country.
Except for maybe China.
China we could do, but they would just attack back. They have the same
But,
infrastructure to do that back to us.
Yeah.
But we
That's what I
could
mean.
destroy all of China and then
But
they
they
would
would
destroy all of
them,
us.
right? Yeah.
So that's the only thing holding us back from China and Russia and certain other places that have the capability to attack us back. But like a country like Iraq or Iran, the only thing stopping us from being able just to do that willy-nilly is what happened post-Iraq, which is trying to put it back together without it being,
Messed up.
all messed up in a place that ISIS takes over, like Syria. It's like once shit goes chaotic, once the rule of law is broken, it's hard to put it back together.
Wow. You know a lot about politics
I do.
because you're.
I was a poli-sci major.
That's why.
Yeah. And I've
So-
just always been interested.
But you still keep up with it.
Some, yeah. I mean, I not as much as I used to. I used to like every day. And I
What's
would read
your news
books.
source that you go to?
What is? Every morning I listen to, off your recommendation, off your therapy for my brain, Up First podcast, NPR.
Did I recommend that?
I think so.
I listen to clips of. I listen to like highlights now. So
And
now
the
I
daily.
now I say to my Amazon Alexa,
Uh-huh.
I say Alexa, play the news, and it pulls stuff from like different sources.
Yeah.
But you know what I found? Every day, what the news is? Trump.
No.
It's boring for me.
Not
that's
on
what
the
Alexa.
daily. The New York Times daily podcast is really
I mean,
good.
obviously, I know there's other news in the
And
world.
it's more editorial. And at the end, they do a quick thing like Trump did this happened, and this happened.
For
But-
me, what Google and Alexa pull for the highlights,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
it's just all
Same
Trump.
thing with Daily Show. It's like Daily
Yeah.
Show used to be so fun with Jon Stewart. Now it's just like
Trump. Same
Trump,
with
Trump.
Colbert. Same with all of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard not to talk about Trump because he's so important.
I don't
But-
think that's why they're even doing it. He's important, but so they could have like a little segment for him. But it's like I think it just gets numbers, and it's this machine now. Trump is this numbers machine, and
Maybe.
and gets views, and that's why
I
they
think
do
people don't want to hear it. I think
I
people
don't.
want. Yeah, I think it's just what they're passionate. I think Colbert is super passionate about talking about Trump, and I think Trevor Noah is crazy passionate about talking about Trump, and that's why they talk about it. Because I think there's funnier shit to talk about. Like Daily Show used to not be a source of news.
it. I think they did that, and they watched their numbers go up a little, and they're like, I guess this
Yeah,
is what
that's
Trump would
probably
want.
right.
Yeah,
But do you remember when like it was Craig Kilborn's Daily Show?
or even Jon Stewart.
But Jon Stewart became a news source after like the 2000 election.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Jon Stewart's, he would just do weird coverage of like some guy in Oklahoma who does this or that. You know, it'd be like
Right,
more of
just
that.
weird events.
Now it's all like
Politics.
It's all politics, and it's all like you're the news source for these kids, so that you feel like an obligation, like I have to mention this, or else I'm letting Trump get away with it. And I think there's part of that, like I can't let Trump get away with it and talk about some other shit that's not as important just because it's funnier. Like they sacrifice, I think, sometimes funny for
integrity.
information, yeah, and integrity, and that sucks because it's like either you're a news source or you're not, and I don't think they are. I don't think they should be. You know?
Yeah, it's frustrating for me. That's why I don't watch those shows anymore,
Yeah.
because it's like
I think they ruined it with
Come on.
Trevor Noah. I think, I don't. And it's not anything against Trevor Noah, but it is because he is not a white American man, and that sounds racist. But they forgot what the Daily Show was. It was a mocking of America's news shows, right? So
Right.
they had a
Yeah,
white
it's
guy
not
who,
that anymore.
Yeah, it's not that at all.
now it's a mocking of Trump.
No, it's not even a mocking of anything. It's just they mock Trump on it.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it was they made it look like a news show is about to start, and instead of Peter Jennings or Tom Brokaw, it was Craig Kilborn, and then it became Jon Stewart. It was a white guy in a suit talking to you like he's telling you the news with a little thing in the corner. Just it looked like the news, but it was silly and funny.
Right.
And no news channel went and hired an African comic or an African guy with a thick African accent to tell the news on American television. So it wasn't a satire of that anymore. It was just
But they are still
a different
like
host.
it is still like Trevor Noah still makes fun of America.
For sure.
So that's why
But he
I
himself
don't like
isn't a satire. There's no
Right.
Trevor Noah equivalent that
right.
you know.
True. But yeah, that was part of it for me. I don't want to see an African guy making fun of America. I want to see an American guy making fun of America.
Yeah,
Forget the
I like
color
it
of his
better
skin.
too. Yeah.
Forget the color of his skin.
Yeah.
They could hire a black guy, but American black guy. To
There's
make fun
black
of America.
anchors.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. There's black anchors. You could have a black guy do the
Yeah.
part, but you could have an Asian girl too, the Connie Chung. That would be funny. You know, it'd be like just like Connie Chung. Now, but it would be an American or
Yeah.
even a Canadian is fine because a bunch
Yeah,
of these
because
newscasters
when
are
I hear,
Canadians.
I don't like Canadians either. Because
No,
when I
Tom
hear
Brokaw,
some-
I think's Canadian.
Yeah, but it's just for me when
Or
I
Peter
hear
Jennings.
someone from another country making fun of America. I'm
But
like,
you haven't even known it though. There's people who've been making fun of America who are from other countries.
Sure.
On SNL, there's a bunch of people.
And-
yeah,
yeah,
They
yeah,
become American once they come down here.
I guess I'm like, if you hate America, or if you're making fun of America, then why are you here?
Oh, I disagree. I think you can make fun of America and still love America and be here.
Yeah.
I think that's how America keeps getting better too. Is like you point out what it's supposed to stand for, and
I just want America to fix America.
yeah. No, I feel you. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I don't like. It's the same thing. It's like I don't like when American politicians talk shit about America when they're not in America. You know,
What do you mean?
like if the Speaker of the House is visiting France, is on a delegation trip to France, and somebody asks her about something Donald Trump says, I would rather have her side on the side of, I respect the presidency and blah, 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 but I disagree with what he did, as opposed to like just ripping ripping an American on foreign soil. I think some things it's like you're representing America over there. Show a more united front while we're abroad. But that's all like just silly how people should behave. When they're
that's
not
like
at home. Manners. Yeah, it's like if me and you are brothers and we're best friends, and I go to somebody else's house, I'm not going to talk shit about you. You know, even if we have some beef, I'm not going to take it over there and let everybody know. I'm not going to spill even though they're going to watch TV here when I talk shit here on TV. You know, I don't know.
It's true. Let's take some calls. Zan Crawford. Do you know him?
I don't think so. But we're here for you, Zane.
Hi, so I really want advice on this relationship issue that I'm going through.
Before we continue, what do you think the race is of this person?
White. For
really?
Sure white, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Asian.
Maybe.
I've known this guy for about 5 years.
Hold
we
on,
started
pause
out
it.
as friends.
Might be Asian. You're right.
It's an Asian woman.
But Asian is just a white person with a flashlight in their eyes. Right?
If that's what you want to call them. I don't stand for that, but you're entitled to your own opinion.
That's what I think.
Okay. Here we go. Zan Crawford.
Hi, so I really want advice on this relationship issue that I'm going through. I've known this guy for about 5 years.
Okay,
we started off as friends. And we both have feelings for each other, but my friends think that he's playing fuckboy games with me. And
he is.
I want to believe the best in him, and also because I really like him. So, like, what should I do? Should I just leave before I'm left, or take the risk and find out?
Take the risk?
Hold on, those aren't even the options.
That's love.
No, take the risk. Talk to him. You've known him for 5 years. You want him to commit. You don't want him to be just a fuckboy. Then tell him.
Yeah, but if he is a fuckboy, he's going to say anything he can to fuck. That's what fuckboys do.
Yeah, but then if he's not hanging out, if he's not willing to commit, if he's not trying to spend time with her and stuff.
They're already friends, so they already spend time.
But if
that's why I don't think he is a fuckboy. Because if he's a fuckboy, he wouldn't have been talking to you for 5 years. You've known him for 5 years.
I think if he's a fuckboy, he'll keep fucking other people. If he stops fucking other people, I think she hasn't had the conversation with him of, I want to be exclusive. And so her friends are saying, oh, he's a fuckboy because he's fucking other people probably. But to him, he's like, she never said she wants to be exclusive. Why would I stop fucking other people?
Well, no, they haven't even fucked yet. It sounds like. To me, it sounds like she's deciding whether or not she wants to date him. And her friends are saying, no, he's a fuckboy, don't even date him. And she's saying, but I like him. And I'm saying, go for it.
I say go for it, but let him know that you actually like him and you want more than just a friend that fuck situation.
Yeah. Have the talk. Hey, what is this to you? Do you just want to hook up? Because we already know each other. You know if you like me or not.
Yeah. When friends fuck, somebody's gonna catch feelings no matter what. So
yeah. Well, she just said they have feelings for each other.
Yeah. So I say go for it, but just be clear with your intentions. You're not just trying to fuck. You actually have feelings for this guy, and you want to make sure that he's not sleeping with anybody else if you guys start sleeping together.
Good call. Take that and use it, Zan, or else.
Why do they think he's a fuckboy, though?
He probably. Listen, here's what I think it is.
I think they want to fuck him.
Or they're all.
Are trying to
it sounds like they're all friends, right? So when you're friends with someone, you know more details about that guy's life than you normally would if it starts off in a dating kind of way. Because like if I like a girl, I'm not telling her, oh, these are all the girls I used to date. These are all the girls I've hit on.
Right.
But you start as friends, so you know more about.
Right.
They know all that side of him.
Yeah.
But he's probably just a normal guy. Every guy is a fuckboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never
Some
met
are more
a
than
single.
others, though. For
True,
sure.
but I've never met a single guy that's like, oh, I'm just waiting for the one, and until then, I'm gonna sit here in my cube.
But I don't think fuckboy is somebody who fucks as much as he can, because I think that's every guy. Every guy fucks as much as he can. But I think a fuckboy fucks even when he's in a relationship, lies to girls to fuck.
That's a cheater.
No, but lies to girls to fuck. So like lets girls think that he's serious about them and shit, and then fucks them. And then moves on to the next chick, like I think the intention of the fuck boy is just to fuck at
no
any
matter
cost.
what, at what the cost.
Yeah, no matter the cost.
That's like a bad fuck boy.
I think that's why it's a
That's
negative
a naughty
term.
fuck boy.
That's why it's a negative term.
Yeah.
You ever hear about the time Luke Schwartz called Ian Edwards a fuckboy after he came off stage doing his like, the bit about fuckboy?
Yeah, he does the fuckboy.
Yeah, he's like that's the one word that like I hate more than the N word.
Yeah.
Like let's go. So I guess like Luke was like right next at the back door, and Ian walked by, and he was like, "Later, fuckboy," and then Ian got pissed.
Yeah. Which, by the way, like I'm a little on Luke's side for that one because it's like it's clearly.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just a joke. But also, it's just funny because it's like Ian never gets pissed.
Ian
Except for you.
he got
Yeah,
pissed
that's
at
so
me one
funny.
time, and we talked about it. I had him on the podcast.
Yeah, I know, that's so
and we
funny.
talked about it. So if you want to,
What made you think of saying he was safe from what was it, a tsunami or something?
I don't remember what disaster it was.
Was it natural
but some
disaster? Or no,
natural
Paris
disaster.
attacks. I think there's the Paris attacks, and you
I don't
said
know
he
if
was
it
safe.
was. I don't remember. I don't want to say it was the Paris attacks. I don't remember what it was. No, I don't think it was.
It was 9/11, I think.
It was a natural disaster of some sort. It wasn't a shooting. Because I don't think I ever fucked around with the shooting ones. I just did like fires and earthquakes and tornadoes.
He's safe.
And hurricanes. But no, it wasn't him. I didn't think like, oh, I'm going to do Ian specifically.
did
I
a
was
bunch
just
of people?
tagging like 30 people.
Why didn't you tag me?
I think I did.
Did you?
Probably. I tagged a lot of people. Anyway. This
Nobody cared about me being safe. Nobody checked on me.
What I found out from him when Ian was on here is because I don't know if you remember he told me, he's like, my nieces and nephews called me crying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of my family called me.
You know what I found out? He made that up to make me feel bad.
That's hilarious. Good job, Ian.
He was mad, but no one else.
You got a TV writer on your show, and he wrote TV for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay. This next call is from Neil Jameson.
Grass Tyson. I know him.
Okay.
I taught him some astrophysics.
Neil-
Physics once.
Neil Jameson.
Neil Jameson.
Hello, my name is Niall Jameson. I'm from
Niall.
Beverly Hills,
I apologize for calling you Neil. It's Niall, and she's a lovely lady. I'm going to guess white.
California. And my question is,
Let's start it over.
I've spent a lot of my life not really being regimented. And so, after quite a few years, it becomes hard to, get into a routine. How would you suggest that someone who has spent a lot of time being so non-routine get into more of a routine lifestyle?
What was the first thing she said? She never been recommended?
Hello, my name is Niall Jameson. I'm from Beverly Hills, California.
Oh, right
and
around
my
the corner.
question is, I've spent a lot of my life not really being regimented. And so, after quite a few years, it becomes hard to,
Regimented.
Get into a routine.
Mm-hmm.
How would you suggest that someone who has spent a lot of time...
Join the armed forces.
This is pretty
Join the
obvious.
military.
It's like anyone who asks that question, they know what they need to do. Or do they need us to reinforce it for them? Maybe, but you already know, Niall. It's like, to get in a routine, you get in a routine. There's no another way around it. I mean, you could start small. You don't need to start with a jam-packed day of waking up at 6 a.m. and going to the gym and doing this. But
it's good to find friends who also want to do the same routine. That way, you guys can encourage each other, like workout buddy. If you're going to start doing comedy, let's say,
I
find
agree
another
with
friend
that,
and do
but I
comedy with
also
them.
disagree with that because then when that happens, when you start a routine with someone else, then let's say they break it, it gives you an excuse to break it. Like if I do all my open mics
you're as
with
strong
Hormoz,
as, but if you're with somebody who's got a strong will,
right? Unless you trust that they're way stronger,
or get a
than you.
personal trainer, drop the money, just go. Go be like, I want to start working out or I want to learn French.
Yeah, because then you
drop
feel
the
guilty
money
if
on
you
classes.
Yeah, if you miss it, you still have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say
spend money, Beverly Hills. You got it.
Yeah, you live in Beverly Hills. You're probably living off your man. No, I'm just kidding. You're a strong, independent woman. I support you.
Also, she can come to the Comedy Store on a Monday night, and Ari Manis can tell you what to do.
Nope.
Can
I prefer you
regiment
didn't
your
do that.
life for
No,
you.
let's just keep it.
You
right
can come
here.
bring your calendar. He'll tell
this
you what
call.
to do in the morning, what to do. He'll just set up your life for you. Mondays at the Comedy Store, Noel.
I think
Niall.
what she has to do is start off with a small routine. So even if it just starts off with one thing, let's say for this whole next 2 weeks, you're going to make your bed every day before you start your day.
I make my bed every day.
Me too, but not everyone does. So let's say
that's good advice right there. Just make your bed.
Make your bed every day for
Every
2
day.
weeks. And then after you do that, add one more thing to your routine. Okay, now I make my bed every day. That's something that I do. Now I'm going to walk to work, whatever it is, some other positive thing you add to it. Start off with a routine and then gradually increase that routine.
And on your phone, too, there's like a to-do list app. Put stuff on that app in the morning and then just start checking it off throughout the day. Anytime you check something off, it'll feel good.
Yeah. So what I'd say is don't overwhelm yourself with all these things. You probably are like, I want to get in shape. I want to eat healthy. I want to wake up early. I want to, there's all these things. Pick one or two of them. Make that into your routine and then add a third. And then add a fourth. I would also
say put it up on your wall. Put it somewhere where the things you want to do each day, the stuff that you want to be part of your regiment is right in your face.
Right. And make it so you feel guilty if you don't do it.
Yeah. So you want to start doing CrossFit, it says. You look up there, you go, fuck. All right, let me go fucking grab some rope and fucking do some CrossFit. You know?
Use rope, you dumb idiot. No,
she sounds smart to me, but if you choose to call her a dumb idiot just because she's a woman, that's your choice.
I didn't say that.
That's your choice, Ari.
She's a smart, independent woman, and I support her. Please
come to the Comedy Store, and Ari will tell you what to do.
Go watch Hormoz. No, don't find me at the Comedy Store.
Don't find you?
Nah.
That's so funny.
I want to just be. I mean, if you're there anyway, you could, and you see me, you could say hello, but don't go there just for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a normal guy. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? ISIS?
Yeah, I want to talk about ISIS. And
Holocaust?
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about those things?
Mm-hmm. Do you think the Holocaust happened? Really happened? You do?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. Why would
I always thought of you as a Holocaust denier. But no, it's cool that you're not.
No, I think it happened. I think it was bad. I think most people at this point think it happened. Some just think it was a good thing. You know.
Some people don't think it happened. There's Holocaust deniers out there.
Yeah.
You know Adam Eget?
Yeah.
Holocaust denier.
The Jewish talent coordinator's a Holocaust denier?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Man, it's like, that makes me like a little bit proud to not be passed at the Comedy Store. Oh, that's crazy. No, I'm sure there are Holocaust deniers. I think, what's his name? Ahmadinejad, the old president of Iran, said like, yeah, it happened, but it was like 10, 20,000 people. Like, I think that's what they say. I think even the deniers say that it's a lower number. But, 10, 20,000 people is still fucking awful, you know? It's still, like, even though it is way more than that, like, to deny it, and your argument is it was
just like 20,000.
It's like, it reminds me of, Sarah Silverman had a joke that was like, she said her niece, like, goes to this Jewish school, and this was on her first special, Jesus is Magic, and she's like, she goes to this Jewish school, and she came up to me and she was like, did you know that they killed 10 billion Jews in the Holocaust? And she's like, oh, I think it was 10 million Jews. And then she's like, oh yeah, 10 million. But what's the difference? And then Sarah Silverman's joke was, the difference is 10 billion is unforgivable. So she's forgiven the Holocaust. That 10 million you can forgive. She's so good.
She's funny.
That special is so underrated. People have forgotten about it.
It's so
old. Yeah, it was 99, I think, or 2001, around then. So good.
One of your favorites.
One of my favorites. Oh, and White Precious, best special of the...
Whose special is White Precious?
Kurt Metzger.
But that's the Comedy Central one.
Yeah, nobody's seen it because nobody watches Comedy Central. Yeah, nobody gets Comedy Central. If it was on Netflix, he would be a superstar. It's so good.
Maybe a lot of Netflix specials now fly under the radar just because...
This one wouldn't, though. Because just if it's a fire special on Netflix, people tell each other and you see it. I've told everybody about this special. I'm on this podcast years later.
But people couldn't even watch it if they want to.
Because they have to have a Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they can pay $5 and buy it, I think, through iTunes and shit. But if it was on Netflix, the people who I've told to watch it would have seen it, would have tried it out. And just the jokes are so fire that it just catches you and the hour's gone in a second. You're like, oh my God. You're just dying of pain. That's what a special should be. Nowadays, a lot of these specials are like half of it is really funny and the other half is filler. And it's like, man, another year or two.
I think there's this pressure that
Louis started,
but he copied Carlin, yeah. But there's this pressure of like, oh, if I'm gonna be the best, I have to do one every year like these guys. But you don't have to.
You don't have to. Also, I think the pressure is if I'm gonna tour the same cities again, I gotta have something new for that city.
There's that pressure too. But also, and you have to remember when Louis was doing that. Well, no, that's not true. He had a lot of stuff going on. But to me, when Louis was doing that and it was great, is when he was just doing stand up.
Yeah.
And then when he started doing movies and TV shows and stuff, they were still good, but they
for sure
faltered a little bit.
Like Shameless and Chewed Up and the half-hour HBO special are like so
or just
good.
Fire. Like every joke and
then Beacon was still really good. I liked Oh My God or what I think that was.
I like their jokes and all of them that I like. None of them were bad to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they were like, holy shit, I could listen to every joke on repeat.
Yeah.
And that's when you're just focusing on stand-up.
I think also it was when Louis was like developing the acts in comedy clubs that didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
The jokes had to be so good to get those huge laughs that by the time he released Chewed Up and Shameless, he had these insanely dope acts that he was able to put out. Then he became a superstar, and now there's the effect where you get bigger laughs off lesser jokes because you're famous.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think
it
just
too.
It hurts the act. Comedy Store I think helps with that because there's tough rooms still sometimes. Like I've seen Rogan and D'Elia go up in an OR, and Bobby Lee. Who murders harder than Bobby Lee? When Bobby Lee has to work, and it's like he comes off stage like that was fucking awful. Like you only get that if you're a superstar at like the Store, LA clubs, or New York clubs. Like that has to be a place where comedy's so saturated that the masses who come in sometimes are just.
Yeah,
strangers.
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck about comedy.
The famous guy we've heard of?
Yeah.
I don't care. Make us
You go to Indianapolis and fucking Bobby Lee's in town, everybody who's in that room is excited to hear Bobby Lee tell jokes, and they're going to die at the shit he says.
But you know what I will say? It still is, there's still good crowds and bad crowds because, like, I've been going with Theo everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's all his fans.
Yeah.
And he'll still walk off the stage and go, that was a good crowd, or he'll walk off stage and go, I didn't like that crowd.
Really?
Yeah. And they're all...
And they're his fans.
His fans, the middle of nowhere, and he's hilarious, and he's doing the same
Do you think
joke.
that's part of it is like they're his fans through the podcast, so they didn't know fully what to expect from the stand-up?
Part of it's that, but I still, for whatever reason, no matter how famous you get, I mean, not to say... There's still truth. If you're famous, like it makes it way easier, and you're going to be less funny because people are going to laugh no matter what you say.
Yeah.
But no matter how big of a fan base you get, there's still energies created by, I don't know, just maybe there's a pocket of people that had a bad day, or
humans are
or
so
the
complex.
waiter gave them a weird
know.
service. Or there's just so many things that for whatever reason, sometimes there's like this energy in a room where for whatever reason that crowd was amazing and the whole crowd laughed, and you walk off and you murdered, and then you do the same show later that night, and you're doing all the same jokes, and for whatever reason it just doesn't click.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're
right.
Like the main room the other night, there's two shows. Early show was not sold out. It was like 100 something, so it was just the bottom area, and the curtains were down. And that first early show, which you'd expect to be the one that's not as good, because not as many people, great. And then the second show sold out, Rogan, D'Elia, all the big names, and the audience was just garbage.
Yeah. And it's like, what causes that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know
what it is. Anything you want to plug? Your podcast?
Yeah. The Door Guys podcast. Everywhere you can get stuff. And going to be at Brea Improv with Steve Byrne at the beginning of June.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be fun.
You guys both talk about being Asian men.
Yeah. People don't think about that, but I'm an Asian man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And my girlfriend's Asian too, so we're keeping it within the race.
That's smart. Yeah, the Door Guys podcast.
You did it.
I did it. Go to listen to my episode. I think
you did two episodes.
Yeah, we recorded one that didn't get aired because I was being too naughty.
Too naughty.
And then we recorded another one that It was just naughty enough.
Just enough naughty. Yeah.
And also check out my book, Bears Don't Like Candy, available now in paperback on Amazon.
That book
and
is
ebook.
literally, I swear to God, I mean, there's a lot of jokes today, but I swear to God, that book is the book that taught me how to read.
Thank you.
Swear to God.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks
See
for
you
having
guys.
me.
Yeah. Bye.